So I work for like 7 or 8 different companies if I want to. I mainly do Instacart, which if you don't know what Instacart is, just search it on YouTube and you're going to find so many good videos about it if you wanted to try it or see if it's available in your area, or if you already know what it is or you've heard about it or maybe you use it. You can learn all sorts of things. It's YouTube. But just type in Instacart, kind of like Instagram, but it's Instacart. So it's basically a grocery delivery service for the customer. For me, it's a job where I go into a store with a grocery list supplied by a customer to a specific store that they have requested those items from. I go through, I pick out all the items on the list, I scan it through the app, and then I actually, go through checkout with my Instacart debit/credit card, and I pay for the items with that, and then I go and I deliver it to the customer at their home, or sometimes it's a business. So that's what I'm mainly doing. That's Instacart. The other ones, I don't even do enough to really like go into them. You've heard of most of those, Postmates, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Lyft, WAG, that's a dog walking service, or boarding and sitting. So is Rover, same idea as WAG. So those are pretty self-explanatory. Instacart is a little bit more, it's a new idea. I love it. So that's what I'm off to go do now, actually. So I'm currently on my way to work for Instacart. I am working today from noon to 8 p.m. in the Los Angeles area. I don't work really close to where I live. I have about a 20-minute drive. I don't work in the zone where I live. I would love to, but mainly because it is not, the hours aren't available. I've never been able to get hours in the zone where I actually live, so I drive to a bigger zone which always has hours available. I could work 14 hours or however many hours they allow you to work in a shift every day in this zone that I'm going to if I wanted to. So it's a bit of a drive, but I find that with the tips and how busy I stay in this zone that it's worth it. It's worth the drive for me. Not saying that if you are trying out Instacart to go find a zone really far away and that it'll be worth it. It totally depends on the state you're in, the city where you live, the zones that Instacart has in your area. It depends on a lot of different factors. I've just found that it's doable for me to make this drive most every day and make enough money to make that worthwhile and still profit from it. One thing I will say is that if you are going to drive a distance like I am currently doing, I schedule my hours so that I am not driving in rush hour times. I'm not leaving at 6 or 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning when it's rush hour in Los Angeles, and I'm not coming home at between 3 and 7 p.m. when it's rush hour in Los Angeles. Instead, I normally start at 12 or 1 p.m. and I normally end at 8 or 9 p.m. So the area I work is outside of Los Angeles. It's got more residential housing, which I find to be less stressful. I don't always stay very busy. Sometimes I end up sitting in the area for like 2 hours with no orders, and then I just decide to give up and I'll go home. It happens. Some days, like around Thanksgiving, I'm just go, and they're massive orders, and they're just, I'm just busy all day long, and it's great. I make lots of money. It's awesome. Some days I get, $10, $12 orders all day long, which is totally fine. If that happens, that's okay. But I end at like 7:30 because it's just slow, or like the orders will be back into like a busier downtown type area, which I'm just not interested in. Okay, so I'm about to pull up to the grocery store where I like to start my shifts in my zone. I'm like a block away from it. So I'm gonna pull in a minute, and I'm gonna try and figure out how to do like screen recording. I don't know if I know how to do it, so we'll see. It's 12:20. I'm gonna take off my glasses so I can see. I started my shift at noon. Just get my seat back. And since then, I went into this grocery store I'm at, and I went to the bathroom, bought some coffee and a snack. Coffee and a snack. That's good. And now I am waiting. Okay, so I'm still in my car waiting for an order. This is what the Instacart app currently looks like. I just wanted to show you. Walk you through it in case you're thinking about trying it. Rare occasion, my heat map, this is what this outlined part is. That's the heat map. It actually works today. Mine has worked maybe 3 times in the past, and I'm talking about for like one order, and then it quits. So I am at the edge of my zone, as you can kind of see. I mean, there's still a little bit to the east of me, but I'm pretty much at the edge of my zone considering how much of it is to the west. I want to show you how the app works. So this is what it looks like if you are on call, I guess you could say, for Instacart, and you like had a scheduled time. If you didn't have a scheduled time and you are on this screen like you went online, it's not going to quite look like this. The zone up at the top there would say Los Angeles, like for me, instead of like specifically East LA, because it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm in a certain zone. It's kind of weird, I don't know. But you can see up in the top right that it shows my full service shift from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. today. I already started, as you can see, because it's looking for orders. There's more shift details down here at the bottom, my option to take my 20-minute paid break, contact support, shopper help support, and reported issues and bugs. I really don't use that area very much unless I want to take my break. Okay, so that is that page. And then here's the heat map where it shows me the red areas are places that orders are coming in. So that's the map. Okay, here's the menu. It's got dashboard, current orders, demo orders, messages, my help area, how am I doing, referrals, hours, earnings, profile, and settings. Everything you could wish for. So let's start at the top. If I hit dashboard, it's going to take me to that map that I was on, and it's going to show where I'm at and that it's looking for orders. If I hit current orders, this is where my current deliveries would show up. Personally, I've never used that tab because I'm always just inside the order. I've never exited the order and had to go to this page before. Demo orders I've never used. Oh, look at that. This is literally the first time ever I've had anything show up on that page. That's cool. So apparently things are working now on the app, so that's good for everyone else. I never got to do a demo order. It just didn't work. So I guess if you wanted to do a demo order, which I guess I could show you because I'm just sitting here waiting. So this is a demo order. We're just gonna go through it. So when an order pops up, you have 4 minutes to accept it. At least that's how my app works. It would normally count down and make that obnoxious dinging noise. I don't know if you can even hear that. Oh, it's so annoying. It'll just keep doing that until you accept the order. I hate that dinging. So it'll show what store you have to go to. It will give you the address normally. So it doesn't always quite look like this, but it's similar. It will show how many customers you're shopping for. Rarely you'll have a couple customers to shop for. It'll show the person's name, or like their name and their last initial. It'll show what order number it is for them. The number of items, which means like Cheerios, you know, Honey Nut Cheerios. The number of units, which is how many total things you're picking up. So let's say they ordered 1 item of Honey Nut Cheerios, but they ordered 2 boxes. So that's going to take up 2 of those units. Then it'll say accept orders. So I don't know how this works. So hopefully this is okay. I'm going to hit accept orders. Okay. So here is Andrew's order. So let's say I walk into the store. At the bottom, kind of where the California Oil Ranch thing is, it would normally say begin shopping. So you hit that or you slide it when you get to the store. When you're inside, I suggest. Don't do it before then. It'll just start counting against you, and that's not very helpful. So you hit start shopping because you're inside the store. You've got your cart. You're ready to go. Obviously, don't forget like your card and things like that too. But this is not like a how-to video. This is just what it looks like. Okay, you have all that. You go over to the egg section. You find this brand of eggs in that size. This is a 12 count. You find it, you click on it off the menu. I would double check the price just to make sure you got the right item. You hit found item. So this is my car, obviously. But you would hold up the eggs here and you would scan the barcode. You go bzzz, and it would say, cool, found item, and it would take off the item. Okay, and you would do that for all these items on the list. Certain items have weights where you'll have to weigh it like at a scale and type in the item's weight. Some of them you have to actually go to the counter and get the item from someone and have them, you know, package it for you. Once you have all of them done, at the bottom here where it says add new item, instead it would say checkout order. You would hit that, click through a couple more prompts, pay for the items at the grocery or the counter with the Instacart card, and then you would have the customer's address, and you would say, you know, start delivery. You drive to their house, deliver it, follow any instructions they give you, etc. I'm going to give about 5 more minutes here, and then I'm going to bail, and I'm going to drive. It's basically, where is it? Let's see if I can find it. It is right here. Yeah, it's this hotspot. So I'm basically going to drive in a couple minutes over to this hotspot. The nice thing is that if you click on a hotspot, it will have navigate pop up, and you can click on that navigate button and it'll automatically take you to Google Maps and give you directions to that hotspot. So you can drive there, and hopefully once you're in the hotspot, you'll actually start getting orders if you weren't already. I've only gone through like half the things on here. So demo orders, that's what we just went through. Messages. I'm not gonna go to my inbox, it really doesn't matter, but it's just like an email with company emails, so it's not real important, honestly. Then you have the help section. The help section is basically a Google of their information. I have used it a couple times, but honestly it's kind of a pain in the butt. This area is nice where it lists the different options that you can just like hit, and you know, it'll give you basic information. But like if you need to find something specific and you Google it in here, I don't know. I have hit and miss luck with that. You can call them up at the top right. So that's the help section. Okay, I'm gonna go, how am I doing? So I'm gonna show you my metrics. So the top here says total speed. This is one issue I do have with Instacart. And I know this is getting to be a rant, but they include the time it takes you to check out and your time. I personally do not find that fair, because if the cashier is just slow, or if the cashier, I've had so many times the cashier, I'm the next customer, I've been waiting forever already, and they literally will just be like, oh, hold on one second, I have to like cash out, and I'm like, of course, I honestly am too nice of a person to say anything, but that counts in my time, and I'm like, okay, that's not really fair. Why don't we just stop the countdown once I'm done shopping? Like, please, if Instacart, if anyone watches this, that is one suggestion and complaint I have. I'm gonna be honest. I have a problem with that. But anyway, so shopping speed is how much time it actually takes you personally as the shopper to select each item. Each item takes me on average 71 seconds. So how they find it is the second you hit start shopping, they start timing you. That time goes until you hit, for shopping, until you hit checkout order. Once you hit checkout order, that will stop. So what they do, they record all that time, they divide it by the number of items. I don't know if it's units or items. I'm guessing items, because it wouldn't be really fair if it was units, because if you had like 60 units, like your time's going to be minuscule, you know. So I'm pretty sure it's by item. So that's that time. Then checkout, I believe, is once you hit checkout order until you hit delivery or deliver order is my guess. I'd have to actually look into that, but that would be the time I would assume. So they take that and I think they divide that also by the number of items that you had in the order. So that's where you get your average time. And then obviously they calculate that over, like it says up top, on your last 30 orders. So I'm going to go back out of speed details. So it's cool. It does show like this graph down here where it shows, you know, your improvement. It gives you little speed tips. Customer feedback. I love customer feedback. In here is where they will show damaged items and recently reported issues, which I also have a big problem with. Every single one of these items has been on an order where I have not physically shopped the groceries. They're all on orders where I was the shopper who went into the store, picked off the bags from the shelf that were already full of the groceries, and I just physically delivered the groceries. That is all I did. Every single one of these items is from one of those orders. So personally, I am super, super careful with the groceries when I'm shopping and when I am bagging and when I am delivering. I am so careful. I have never broken anything, dropped an egg, nothing. So these, it kind of bugs me because this is against me. This hurts me. And it, honestly, not to like blame other people, but it was not my fault. I was not the one that put it in the bag. I did not, you know, probably put the macaroons below something else that crushed the macaroons. That's my guess to what happened. I didn't do that, so that bugs me. Down here it says 82 batches without damaged item issues. Woohoo! Yep. Then there's more tips for like customer service, things like that. Going back, they give you more tips here. Okay, here's where I'm not so great. So a whole nother matter in my life is I have Crohn's. I have days where I will wake up and I'm in so much pain. I decide I cannot work. I go in and I say cancel hours. Even though I work in the evenings, when I wake up at like 7:30. You have to cancel your hours more than 6 hours before your first hour begins. When you do that less than 6 hours beforehand, you receive a reliability incident. You can have 5 reliability incidents before you get a review, which I don't know what happens at a review, but I just don't want to have one, so I've been trying not to. I haven't been feeling great in the last couple months, as you can see, because those have been all my reliability incidents. Before then, I was great, so that's fine. But after it's like 18 days or something, at least, your last one will, or your oldest reliability incident will disappear. So if you're someone who has like a, you know, hectic life, let's say you have a kid or, you know, a disease like me or, you know, whatever, sometimes life happens, you have to cancel. Just so you know, that's what happens when you work for Instacart and things like that come up. Down at the bottom, last metric, acceptance rate. So your acceptance rate is obviously how many orders you accept. So it's only that week though. So I haven't worked very much this week. I had a friend over and then I've just felt terrible all week, so it's been great. So I've only done 6 batches this week. A batch is an order. I don't know why they just call it orders. I've had 6 batches this week. I've accepted 5 and I did not acknowledge, or in other words, I rejected 1 batch. So my acceptance rate is 83%. The main reason you want to keep your acceptance rate is because you get more orders. The biggest reason you want to keep your acceptance rate up is for promotions. Right, I'm going to go back here and talk to you about the promotions, so you better understand why the acceptance rate is important. So if I go to earnings, it drops this little sub menu and I can hit promotions. So right now there's a promotion. There's 2 promotions actually. Not right now. Next week? I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Whatever. But on both of these you can see it says with 80% of batches accepted. So if you started the week and you get 40 batches throughout the week during one of these weeks that the promotion is going on, or you get however many batches, you know, that you needed for the promotions. Like, you know, the bottom one says 30, the top one says 25, but you only accepted, you know, 70% of those, you're not going to get that promotion, which they're pretty good promotions. I mean, the bottom one's $80 and the top one's $100, so that's pretty awesome. So that's the biggest reason to keep your acceptance rate up, is to get the promotions. Now, if you're starting with Instacart and, like, let's say you're in my area, you know, the Los Angeles area, make sure you read through the promotions carefully, because, like, from here, this looks amazing. But if I click on track my bonus, it'll show you the requirements. The requirement for both of them is that it has to be completed in the West LA zone. I work in the East LA zone, so I cannot get this promotion unless I drive over to the West LA zone, which is like another 25 minutes away from me, and work, which for me financially really does not come out to be a good idea. So I don't do it if it's not in my zone. That's just how it goes. Okay, we've done dashboard, current orders, demo orders, messages, help, and how am I doing. Let's go to referrals. I never use this page, but it's here. If you have a lot of friends who need jobs like this, share your referral link with them, because then you both make money. If you want to start with Instacart, feel free to use my referral code, by the way. I would love for us both to make money. Okay, then hours. So this week looks ridiculous because I worked very strange hours. So let's just focus on today, Friday the 25th. So as you can see, it says 12 to 8 p.m. in East LA. If I were to click on it, it's going to show the kind of like scheduling links. So this is not very clear, but it's actually on the East LA page, the hours page right now. So I've selected to work from 12 all the way until 8 p.m. Okay, the little red box thingies with the $sign in dollar amount inside is a bonus. So you get that bonus peak boost for each batch you accept during that hour. So if I had gotten 2 orders during this 12 to 1 o'clock hour, I could have gotten $6 extra. So then the amounts will change at different hours depending on the busyness. That just sounds bad. So there's that. If I decided to end hours early, I would hit end hours early. It would say, dude, you're ending way too early. You're going to get a reliability incident. I don't want that, so I'm going to hit don't end early. Okay? Now, there's a whole wait list thing that just started. I'm not going to go into it. Let's look at, actually, yeah. That's all I'm going to go into for right now for hours. Earnings, if you want to see actual earnings, this is what I made for the one day that I worked this week. I worked for, let's see, I worked on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I was online for 5 hours and 18 minutes. I actually was working for 4 hours and 13 minutes. During that time, I had 5 batches. Oh, look at that. I got an order. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you get an order. You have the option to take a break. You only get 1 break. It's 20 minutes. It's unpaid. Keep that in mind. It will show you roughly where the person lives. It will show you where the grocery store is. It'll say earnings estimate. So that's about how much you should get. That includes tip, which I always feel a little bit sketchy about because they could tip you less, they could tip you more, whatever. And then it says it's 1 full service order. There's 5 items or 10 units. It's 2 miles of driving from the grocery store to the person's house. I will get a $3 peak boost included because it's between that 12 and 1 p.m. hour. And then it shows the items. And then it says accept in 3 minutes and 3 seconds. I'm going to do it.